Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yawashai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and salute to the hopeful elect, pushing this word in truth and sincerity, hoping to receive mercy from Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashai. Yahweh is the name of our Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God. Yahawashai is the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Latinos, we are the Israelites, according to the prophecies of the Holy Scriptures. So this is the brother Shamar from the JMS Jamaica camp. Just want to do a quick lesson on, what really makes someone a high-value man. So the term high-value man has been, making its rounds through the media, especially social media, popularized by the late Kevin Samuels. And there's certain definitions that they will put forth on what a high value man is. All right, but let me break down what the scriptures highlight what a high value man is. Right, so let's get some precept on what makes someone high value. So this is Deuteronomy 4 verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my power commanded me, that you should do so in the land whither you go to possess it. So this is Moses speaking to the Israelites, all right, in the ancient times. So Moses had taught the Israelites, as he has received from the Most High, law, statutes, and judgments, that they should do so in the land when they go to possess it. So when they become rulers of the land, this is what they should do, the land of Israel. Verse 6, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. In other words, surely these people are high value men and women, high value men, because the men shall be ruling the kingdom. Right? So the law, statutes, and judgments, keeping it in its perfection, and we understand that it's nearly impossible to do on this side in this current slavery. The so-called white man set it up in such a way that it's impossible to keep the laws perfectly, right? All 613 plus laws. But in the land to come, in the society, the righteous society that is to come, we'll be able to keep those laws perfectly, and that will lead us to being that high value man that people are talking about nowadays. It only can really happen. A high value man is keeping these law, statutes, and commandments. They become a high value man. It goes on to say, for what nation is there so great, who hath Yahweh Ba'ashem Yashai so nigh unto them, as the Lord our power is in all things that we shall call upon him for? And what nation is there so great, that hath statutes and judgments so righteous, as all this law which I set before you this day? Only take heed to thyself, and keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, and lest they depart from thy heart or your mind all the days of thy life, but teach them to thy sons and thy sons' sons. So this is what we're supposed to be teaching our children. These are the ways of a high value man. Certain laws go into how you're supposed to deal with your brother in terms of even lending him money. There's economic principles. In the scriptures, in these law, statutes, and commandments. So following on an example, if you lend your brother money, you're not supposed to charge him interest. That's usury, right? And there's other things, laws on health. Just laws in general that govern life, that will lead to one being high value. Even keeping the land Sabbath, that's going to result in increased yields in food production, which going to lead to increased wealth. Like, these are, things that make one high value, and they're pleasing unto the Most High, most importantly. So this is Proverbs 22 verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. So if we're teaching our nation, our children, our sons, these ways of being a high value man, this is what he's going to implement moving forward. So what it will result in a high value nation. That's the importance of these laws, statutes, and commandments of the scriptures. That's the importance of following the ways of the book of life. It leads to life and more abundantly, you know, in a high value rulership, in a high value kingdom. This is Psalms 89, verse 29. His seed also will I make to endure forever, and his throne for the days as the days of heaven. If his child forsake my law and walk not in my judgments, if they break my statutes and keep not my commandments, then will I visit their transgression with the rod and their iniquity with stripes. So if you don't follow the ways of being high value, the law, statutes, and commandments of the Holy Scriptures, therefore you will not be high value, and you will receive punishment. That's why a lot of our people, a lot of our men these days are not high value. You know, they don't understand the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. They don't understand who they are, their nationality, their true biblical nationality, that they're Israelites, if you're so-called Negro, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Latinos, right? They don't understand their power, who their power is, therefore what is required of them. And this, as it is written, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And this lack of knowledge is what is leading them to be not high value. You know, but there is a remnant waking up to who they really are. You know, and we shall return to the ways of our forefathers. This is Deuteronomy 28, verse 1. I shall come to pass if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe and do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy power will set thee on high above all nations on the earth. And that is being high value. That's the highest value. If you're above all nations on the earth, by default, that's making you high value. So that is the ways of following the law, statutes, and commandments leads you to be high value. Deuteronomy 28, verse 15, in contrast, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. You know, you'll be low value, the lowest of value, you know. We were the tail and not the head because we didn't keep the law, statutes, and commandments. So, you know, so these are the real things that make one high value. You know, knowing about these things, learning about these things, and of course, putting them into practice and living this to the best of your ability, you know, towards perfection. That is what makes one high value, you know. And fearing Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and having faith, you know, that these things will lead to you becoming high value. So, you know, I'll get one through the Spirit. The Lord just gave me one. I was going to finish with that. But, Tawada Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Joshua 1 verse 8, the book of the law, you know, the law, statutes, and commandments, shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayst observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then shalt thou have good success. Then shall you become high value, and then you shall be a high value man. Should give me the spirit to do this lesson. Pray it was edifying. Just wanted to highlight, you know, what really makes a man high value. Shalom to the elect.